Next on the 10 o'clock news, a bank robber caught between a proverbial rock and a hard place. He couldn't even get out of the bank. Plus, President Bush was in town, so were several Democrats that want his job. The news starts now.
Now, the hometown advantage. KDKA-TV News.
It was a successful robbery attempt until the accused bad guy got to the door. Good evening. That's where things went terribly wrong for the guy, making one heck of a criminal blooper. KDKA's David Highfield is live tonight to explain what happened. David?
Well, Jennifer, I'll show you exactly where this all ended for the robber. Take a look right here. You can see there's a double set of doors here in this bank. There's an outer door and then an inner door in this vestibule area in between. Well, a teller flipped a switch and the robber got locked right in there. I asked 42-year-old Lewis Pack one question as police led him away, and after a pause, he answered. Why'd you rob the bank? Rent. In case you missed that, he said the word rent, and this is the Citizens Bank where he went to get his rent money, only police say he did it illegally by handing the teller a stick-up note. The teller filled an envelope, but then pulled a fast one on the robber.
As the actor was leaving the bank, the teller kept his calm, and he then activated the man trap, which is a set of double doors, and when the actor was within the two doors, they were locked electronically.
When customers come to this bank, they're all instructed to go in this door. You can see there's a green light here and a red light there, and right down here it says enter one adult at a time. This door is a protection against robberies. Customers must wait in a vestibule area surrounded by bulletproof glass before they're allowed through a second inner door. The same is true on the way out of the bank, and that's where the robber got stuck. At first, he frantically pounded on the glass and then calmed down.
The actor sort of realized that his time was up.
Well, police credit the quick thinking of the teller for flipping the switch and locking the robber in. They say that the teller is relatively new here. Pack, by the way, is from Garfield. He was not found to have a weapon on him, but they did find that envelope filled with cash. Reporting live in East Liberty, David Highfield, KDKA-TV News.
Thanks, David. Now, PennDOT crews were very busy with another rock problem on Route 28. Late last week, one lane southbound near Harmerville was shut down after several tons of rocks and mud came tumbling across the road. All week long, one lane will be closed from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. so PennDOT can fix that problem there. PennDOT engineers were called out to the Parkway East after someone spotted what appeared to be a boulder teetering over the hillside. Crews sprang into action, shutting down one lane and calling in the experts. After a closer look, they figured out the boulder is not going to be coming down anytime soon, so they did reopen the lane. Now back to Route 28, but at another stretch. Starting tonight until 5 a.m., the road is being shut down because of a demolition job at St. Nicholas on the north side. Two buildings are being torn down at 1312 and 1314 East Ohio Street for safety. The road is being shut down for just 10 minutes, though, at a time. Now, nearly 4 years ago, a doctor said he woke up to find his wife murdered. Now, though, that doctor's facing trial for killing her. Today, jury selection got underway in the murder trial against Dr. Carl Long. Prosecutors say the podiatrist killed his wife by placing a dry cleaning bag over her head. But Long says he acted in self-defense because his estranged wife stabbed him. Now, after 4 years of court motions, Long will finally tell his story to a judge.
Carl, his family, all of us working with him are appreciative that the proceedings are starting. We're confident of the outcome, but most of all, we're appreciative that it's underway.
Jury selection could last several days, but sources tell us the trial should start in 1 week. Today, a judge denied the appeal of the man convicted of killing 12-year-old Shannon Koss. Right now, Perry Riccardi is serving a life sentence after he was convicted of kidnapping her from her home in Youngstown, killing her, and then dumping her body in Lawrence County. President Bush was in Pittsburgh today. He says the country still has a long way to go to extend the nation's full promise to blacks. Bush came into town to speak at the National Urban League's conference at the Lawrence Convention Center, and KDKA's Lynn Hayes Freeland was there. She has more on the president's speech and reaction.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Inside the David L. Lawrence Convention Center, warm feelings for President George W. Bush.
One thing I know about George W. Bush is I believe he and his wife care about children.
But outside, it was a cool reception at best.
Tax cuts for the rich, budget cuts for the poor.
President George Bush's address to the general body of the National Urban League Convention seemed to hit all the right points: education, housing, and economic development.
I think that the president said some things that were very important to us. I think his work in Africa, in terms of the funding he's committed to with AIDS, I think that's wonderful for our country to be taking the lead there.
I think his speech is the same at every group that he goes to see, and it's not necessarily working for me. I don't know about it. I'm not speaking for the Urban League people, but personally, it's not anything that turned me on.
The president never even got a glimpse of the protesters outside the convention center. But that didn't stop the multi-issue group from getting together behind at least one thing: dislike for the president's politics.
Bush as a liar, and Bush as someone who has misled the American people. Flowing from that, the notion of impeachment. And I think that's going to be an important issue in the future.
Lynn Hayes-Freeland, KDKA-TV News.
After the president and Secret Service cleared out, his potential opponents in the next election moved in. 7 of the 9 Democratic candidates converged on the conference. Each took the opportunity to criticize the president.
Can a Democrat beat George Bush?
George Bush's administration has promised them everything and give him nothing. He promised us more jobs. We have 3 million fewer jobs. Promised he was going to do something about health care and Social Security. He did. More people lost their health care, and now he's attacking Social Security.
There's no question that we can deny George Bush a second term because he doesn't have a record that earns him a second term, particularly on the economy. 3.1 million jobs have been lost since George Bush became president.
What he said today here was an absolute trip to Fantasy Island. How can you talk about we're doing better when you have unemployment double digits in the black community? How can we talk about returning integrity to the White House when we have the president that cannot produce the weapons of mass destruction that brought us to war?
Now tonight, each of those candidates took their concerns and their sales pitches to the podium, addressing the audience. The National Urban League Conference continues until next Wednesday. A man who keeps getting drunk behind the wheel is now going in jail. The judge says 67-year-old George Johnson just hasn't gotten the message, so he's getting the next 5 to 10 years in jail to let it sink in. It's a tough sentence, but it comes after Johnson's 32nd conviction.
That when he was behind the wheel of a car, he was a deadly weapon. It is fortunate that no one has been seriously injured or has lost their lives at the hands of this individual.
Now, Johnson and his lawyer are looking at possibly asking the judge to reconsider this sentence or appealing the case to Superior Court. Under Pennsylvania law, if your blood alcohol level is higher than .10, you are considered legally drunk. To keep from losing federal highway money, though, that number could come down. Today, KDKA's Kelly Alexia showed some people exactly what those numbers mean.
Okay. It's probably the last thing a drunk driver wants to see when pulled over. It's a breath tester, much like the breathalyzer. The Ross Township Police Department let us use one that they own. We wanted to see if people really know how close even 1 or 2 drinks can bring them to breaking the law on the road now and later if the legal limit is lowered.
Okay, ready?
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
Larry Delaney of Wexford had 3 beers with lunch.
Do you feel like you could drive a car without any problem?
Absolutely.
0.5, you're right. But if that limit changes, he's getting pretty close. He says a change in the level may just mean less drinking out for him. Donna Pearson had a glass of wine with lunch. She, too, was curious to see if she was legal to drive.
Okay, that's good.
0.024.
Oh, well, then I'll have another one.
None of the people we interviewed at the North Park Lounge exceeded the legal limit, but not everyone we talked to was fit to drive, even with the higher legal level we have now.
Now, there was one patron here. He didn't want to be identified, but he showed us his receipt. He had 3 beers in about a 40-minute period. His blood alcohol level, 0.147.
And I think we'll see more arrest.
Kelly Alexia reporting there. Now, special forces are hot on the trail looking for Saddam Hussein, and they could be getting closer. Up next, see what they found in a series of overnight raids. And 1 year ago tonight, 9 miracles emerged from the mine at Q Creek. We'll look back at the rescue. Plus, he brought smiles to the faces of people young and old. And tonight, the world says thanks for the memories after the passing of Bob Hope.
Right now, we have partly cloudy skies and 66 degrees. It looks like the sun will come out tomorrow. All the details in your AccuWeather forecast coming up when the 10 o'clock news continues.
Save on Gatorade Sports Drink only 49 cents with bonus coupon and additional purchase. See store for detail. Foodland, close to home.
Hey, Jesse, come here. I'm off to college, so the only thing keeping you from my room are these boxes.
So, the only thing keeping you from this box are these boxes.
Totino's Pizza Rolls. Kids can make them on their own. Irresistible big pizza taste, stuffed inside a bite-sized roll. Kids crave them.
Hey, guys. My stuff?
Totino's Pizza Rolls. It's how kids help themselves.
Lightly salted and made with real melted Land O'Lakes butter. It's the microwave popcorn that tastes like real homemade, only from Pop Secret. Don't just sit there. Pop Secret home style. Don't just sit there. Pop Secret home style.
You'll want a lower mortgage payment? I can get you a lower mortgage payment. I'm Dave Clark from Jericho Mortgage, and I'm proud to announce our grand opening in Pittsburgh.
At Jericho Mortgage, we're dedicated to helping people purchase new homes, consolidate their debt, refinance, and get more cash.
Perfect or less than perfect credit, Jericho Mortgage has a program for you with low payments.
It won't cost you a penny to find out how low your payment can be. If you want your payment low, just call Jericho.
When our husbands all retired, we decided we needed biscuit therapy. Lots of it.
Bob Evans Breakfast Savers. 10 great weekday breakfasts starting at just $2.99. 10 more reasons life tastes better at Bob Evans.
The Nightly Sports Call every night at 10:35 on UPN 19.
The AccuWeather Advantage is brought to you by the Mountaineer Gaming Resort.
Under the cover of darkness, the hunt for Saddam Hussein continued with a series of raids in Iraq. While there's no sign of Saddam, they did come across members of his tribe. Inside this house, soldiers had to move the sleepy family into a walled courtyard while they went through the house. An old man tried to escape, but he wasn't able to run far. Soldiers even had to tie up and gag a woman who kept muttering pro-Saddam chants and slogans. Though they did not find Saddam, the soldiers did find a stash of weapons in the house and even more in the family's orchard.
It just gives us a common picture. You know, we put it on a big map and look at everything that we found, and usually if you're finding significant caches, certain types of weapons, then it'll, you know, we can use that to track movement.
Soldiers say Saddam Hussein is now moving houses and cities every 3 to 4 hours. They believe it's only a matter of time, though, before they do catch up with him. At 12:50 a.m., the first of the miners, Randy Fogel, comes to the surface in the now familiar yellow rescue cage. Fogel was first out because he had been suffering from chest pains. Then came the miners in order of their size. Blaine Mayhew, the youngest and largest of the 9, was next at about 1:15 a.m., followed by his father-in-law, Thomas Foy, who came to the surface around 1:30, followed quickly by another miner, then another. Finally, at 2:45 a.m., more than 3 days after the ordeal began, the last of the 9 emerged. And 1 year ago today, a man from West Deer Township was called on for something he created. He had no idea he'd be the first person to find out all 9 miners were alive.
One of the first things was, what took you so long?
They were the first words anyone heard from the 9 miners, the first indication that not only was one of them alive, but all of them. Rob Zaremski sells communication equipment, specifically a confined space communicator, headphones on one end, a microphone on the other. When he got to the site, he tried to hand it over, but they said, no, it's your equipment, and who better to operate it than you? And so when the time was right, Zaremski lowered the microphone more than 230 feet into the mine, not sure what he'd hear on the other end.
John Filippi, who ended up being the spokesman on the probe when it came through, he was looking at it and had no idea how to operate it, how to hold it. And in talking with some of the miners afterwards, they said that he was, kind of trying to hold it like a phone or a microphone.
Soon after, the tired miners asked for chewing tobacco and food. But within minutes, their concern faded from themselves to the other 9 miners they had warned to get out, not knowing whether their message got there in time. All Zaremski knew was hearing the voices from below was like something he'd never felt before.
I've likened it before to kneeling down and saying your prayers and having God answer you. I didn't know them when I went up there, but as they were bringing them up, I felt like we were rescuing friends that I hadn't met yet.
Once he returned home to his family, Zaremski's nieces called him a superhero. But he says his oldest daughter, Kaylin, chimed in with some words of wisdom.
When my wife sat down and explained the entire situation, she said, Mommy, Daddy's not the hero. Those miners were the heroes. And I said, that's right.
His wife, Colleen, just gave birth to their 4th child in April. Zaremski told us he wanted to name the baby Q in honor of the miracle, but decided on Noah. As for what Q Creek's done to change his and his family's lives, Zaremski says that's easy.
I certainly think that I hold everything a lot closer now, from my children to my extended family and friends. But I think Q Creek gives America a sense of what America's all about.
All right, time for weather now. Got kind of messy out there. A little more rain, just what we needed, huh? Just keep adding it on to the total. Here's Jeff Rosella now, live with the latest for you from AccuWeather.
All right, thanks very much, Jennifer. Yeah, there were a few widely scattered rain showers, but they were generally on the light side, and not everyone saw the rain showers late this afternoon and early this evening. Matter of fact, at the airport, no rainfall in the bucket today. For the month so far, 5.97. For the year so far, a little over 25 inches. Both the month and the year, we have a surplus of a little over 2 inches at this point in the calendar year. 77, the high temperature this afternoon. We pumped the temperature up late this afternoon, or should I say mid-afternoon, with the help of a couple of hours of sunshine, but still finished 6 below our normal high, which runs at 83 degrees. When you wake up tomorrow morning, maybe a little patchy fog in some of the river valleys. Otherwise, partly sunny conditions, 60 degrees. By lunchtime, up to 72. And we should see increasing amounts of sunshine. By late in the day, the clouds will begin to decrease somewhat. And AccuWeather is forecasting for a high temperature to reach right around 80 degrees. Right now, we're partly cloudy and 66. Relative humidity, 81%. Surface winds are coming out of the north at 6 miles an hour. Barometric pressure is holding steady. And right now, the dew point stands at 60. Look at temperatures into Beaver County we go with partly cloudy conditions. 66 right now in Hopewell as well as Baden. Ohioville, a couple of degrees cooler at 64. As we check out what's happening on the bigger picture, you will see things have quieted down from the few rain showers we had rolling through earlier. And now all the action is on the eastern side of the state. Also seeing the blow-up of clouds and some showers and storms across parts of the Mississippi River Valley, but these are of no consequence to us. They're working their way toward the south out ahead of a frontal boundary that already went through our area and has now settled down to the south. What we're looking forward to is clearing skies. We're still seeing some cloud cover overhead. As you take a look at the enhanced infrared satellite, you'll notice many of the areas still seeing mainly cloudy conditions are to the east and south of Allegheny County in the city of Pittsburgh. But as dry air continues to work its way down from the north and northwest, most areas should see at least some breaks in the cloud cover overnight tonight. That said, AccuWeather is going to forecast for patchy cloud cover, just in that some areas will likely see at least partly cloudy conditions, while those of you to the east and south may hang on to the clouds just a little longer. In terms of overnight lows, with some breaks in the cloud cover, most areas should get down into the 50s. A range will be 55 in Clarion to 60 degrees in Morgantown, with likely having a few more clouds hang on a little longer as you head south of the PA border. And as we take a look at the surface map, storm system now off toward the east, and the front continues to push a little farther toward the south. Everything's getting a nudge from an area of surface high pressure that's beginning to build down in across parts of the Midwest. That area of high pressure is becoming our dominant weather feature, and it's bringing some changes in that it's going to bring some slightly cooler and drier air into the region over the next 24 hours. That means a return to sunshine and fair weather through the middle part of the week, and with sunshine in the afternoon, temperatures should rebound up near 80 degrees tomorrow and then climb into the low 80s on Wednesday. Next round of showers and storms won't occur until Thursday into Friday. Forecast tonight, patchy clouds, some areas of fog in the river valleys, 58 the low. Then for tomorrow, partly sunny and pleasant, 80 degrees the high temperature. Tomorrow night, skies become clear. It will be comfortable with a low of 57. And your AccuWeather 5-day forecast on Wednesday, mostly sunny, 83 degrees. Thursday into Friday, chance for scattered showers and storms. The best chance looks to be Friday with a high of 80. Saturday, slight chance of a late-day thunderstorm and a high of 81 degrees. But tomorrow and Wednesday look to be good ones. Jennifer?
Great. Okay, Jeff, thanks very much. Now, still ahead, Camp Cower isn't just for the Steelers. We'll take you to Latrobe, where the fans are packing in to see the boys in black and gold. And one of America's greatest comedians is lost. More on the life and legacy of Bob Hope. But first, Patrice King-Brown is live in the newsroom with a look at what's ahead on KDKA-TV News at 11.
Well, Jen, they are a must for men in the workplace and on those special occasions, but science is giving everyone who hates neckties a reason to hang them up for good. And fan reaction from one of the biggest concerts to hit Pittsburgh this year. You'll hear why Christina Aguilera's fans think she's the best thing to come out of Pittsburgh since the pierogi. Join us for those stories and much more on KDKA-TV News coming up at 11.
You're gonna be late for school.
How do you make sure they always get the nutrition of a bowl of cereal and real milk? With a milk and cereal bar from General Mills.
All right.
It's the only cereal bar with the 13 essential vitamins and minerals of a bowl of cereal and milk, including calcium. Jenny! And it's got 6 grams of protein for real milk and cereal nutrition.
What was that? Some breakfast.
It's gotta be a milk and cereal bar. Everything but the bowl.
I bet we went to 5 stores before she found carpeting she liked.
We called Empire today.
Then we had to go back.
He measured wrong.
We shopped at home.
They did the measuring.
Now we wait.
We had our carpet next day and save 50%.
No payments for a year.
I'll be glad when it's over.
I'm glad we called Empire today.
800-588-2300
Today.
Cheerios and strawberry. When our husbands all retired, we decided we needed biscuit therapy. Lots of it.
Bob Evans Breakfast Savers. 10 great weekday breakfasts starting at just $2.99.
Price is right.
Classic hotcakes.
Quick service, too, in case you're into getting back.
Eggs with liquid.
Which we're not.
More coffee?
We're into breakfast. And we love getting together at Bob Evans.
Breakfast Savers. 10 more reasons life tastes better at Bob Evans.
What do you say to those who imagine the things the rest of us might never think of?
The money isn't the first thing. The idea is the first thing.
How was it that they always seemed to make ends meet when you're sure that money was the last thing on their minds?
It does relieve your mind, allows you to focus on your work.
The most sensible investments I've made have been made by others.
For 80 years, TIA CREF has managed money for people with other things to think about. Log on to see what we can do for you.
Welcome back to KDKA-TV News.
Tonight, the nation and the world is remembering Bob Hope. He passed away yesterday at the age of 100. Hope has brought laughter to several generations of people in radio, TV, and on film. He also helped boost the morale for soldiers who needed it most. Manuel Gallegos has more now on Bob Hope's life and legacy.
No matter how corny the joke, Bob Hope always got a laugh.
I just want you boys to see what you're fighting for, that's all.
Hope died of pneumonia at his home. His daughter Linda says he had an amazing send-off with all of his family present, a final audience that warmed his heart.
I don't think you could have asked for a more peaceful, beautiful death, and I think all the good vibes that he put out during his lifetime came back to take him up.
From vaudeville to television, Hope was a tireless performer. He earned a fortune, gave generously to charity, and literally had a warehouse full of awards. He was a host or presenter at the Academy Awards more than 20 times, although he never won an Oscar for a specific role.
Welcome to the Academy Awards, or as it's known at my house, Passover.
It was his time with the troops overseas that brought him the most satisfaction.
Stealth bomber, that's a big deal. Flies in undetected bombs and flies away. Hell, I've been doing that all my life.
Flowers were placed at one of 4 stars that Hope has on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And at his home in the San Fernando Valley, neighbors dropped by to show their respect. Hope's family says a public memorial is planned next month. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, Hollywood.
Bob Hope's one-liners gently poked fun at presidents, too. And today, President George W. Bush said America lost a great citizen.
We mourn the passing of Bob Hope. Bob Hope made us laugh, and he lifted our spirits. Bob Hope served our nation when he went to battlefields to entertain thousands of troops from different generations. We extend our prayers to his family, and we will mourn the loss of a good man. May God bless his soul.
Now, Bob Hope does have some local ties. He grew up in Cleveland doing vaudeville shows. After small successes, including a brief stint on Broadway, Bob Hope and his partner headed this way to retool their act. During a 3-day run at a theater in Newcastle, Hope was asked to announce coming attractions to the audience, but they loved the way he did it so much, by the 3rd day, he was the main attraction. The Hope family is planning a public memorial service that's scheduled for some time this next month, rather. Now up next, Steeler fans join the players watching the action at Camp Cower, and they're coming from all over Steeler country. And remember, right after the 10 o'clock news, stay with us for the nightly sports call. John Steigerwald's in tonight. Give him a call about camp or whatever else you want to talk about, 412-333-9366.
Don't miss Mattress Discounter's huge mix and match sale. We sold almost 500,000 mattresses and box springs last year. We end up with thousands of odds and ends, one-of-a-kinds. Now we're matching them up and selling them at great discounts. Brand new Sealy, Simmons, our factory direct brand, Beauty Rest, Posturepedic. The colors don't quite match, but if you're not picky about color, Mattress Discounter's mix and match sale is a great chance to save.
Have a good night's sleep on us. Mattress Discounters.
Hi, I lowered my cholesterol. These are nice. I lowered my cholesterol.
In case you haven't already heard the news, Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower your cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet, and with its sweet honey taste. That ought to make you really happy.
Excuse me. My cholesterol's down. Excuse me.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Be happy, be healthy.
Hi, I'm Ron Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory, inviting you to tour our factory and see our quality. We use heavy-gauge tempered steel coils, Amish-built wood frames, and stitched cotton padding. We build our mattresses one at a time. You can see and feel the difference and compare them side by side with the national brands. Then we sell direct to you, so you save hundreds of dollars by eliminating the middleman. Come see for yourself the Original Mattress Factory. Genuine value from the inside out.
From the dawn of time, there have been traditions. And mankind has always known it's just not a mix without the Chex. Chex Mix traditional flavor. Get into the mix.
gaming resort, only 45 minutes from Pittsburgh. We'll leave the slots on for you.
Camp Cower's in full swing, and while the players are sweating it out on the practice field, the fans are soaking it up just being around their favorite Steelers. Hundreds of people are taking their summer vacation. Some are just playing hooky on the sidelines, taking part in the Steeler experience. Can't tear some people away from Camp Cower.
The president is nice. I'm not going to say anything against him, but I would rather be here.
Here I can do something. I can go to the stadium and holler. I can't go to Washington, D.C. and holler.
Go Steelers!
This is the walk through the gates to heaven as another season of football begins.
This is a family vacation to kind of the pinnacle here.
All the way from Minnesota, this family wins for longest drive, 14 hours to get here. Yay! The Steelings are taking their 5th family vacation with the Steelers here in Latrobe.
Well, the more we come, the more we get to know the players, and it's a lot funner when you know them and you can associate with who they are.
The Steelers experience. That's why fans get out here hours before the practice even starts. This is really about supporting the team, getting close to the players, and grooming young fans.
We don't really think moms and dads when we go back.
Boys wanted to come, and I used them as an excuse so I could come out.
So what do the fans think about the team this year?
I think they finally show a lot of togetherness again, and they're hungry.
I'm picking Super Bowl champs, and I'm not just saying that. I think they can do it.
Christine Sorensen reporting there. Now, most of the Steelers' afternoon practices are open to the public, so you do have plenty of time to check them out before the season starts. You can also try to get an autograph from your favorite players. And they do have a lot of family activities set up for you out there. Camp Cower runs through August 19th. Jeff Frizzell is back in just a moment with your live 14-day AccuWeather forecast. Stay with us.
Is your list of to-do items getting longer by the minute? Get your priorities in order. First things first, the 2003 Honda Clearance. It only happens once a year, and it's gone before you know it. Get special APR financing as low as 2.9% for up to 60 months on the all-new 2003 Accord. Life can wait. First things first.
Lightly salted and made with real melted Land O'Lakes butter. It's the microwave popcorn that tastes like real homemade, only from Pop Secret. Don't just sit there. Pop Secret home style. Don't just sit there. Pop Secret home style.
Room service. Your grape nuts, sir.
It'd take 4 bowls of grape nuts to get the B vitamins in just 1 bowl of total.
That's a manly breakfast. Your raisin bran.
10 bowls to equal the zinc in total.
I'll keep the gym open. Your special K, Miss.
40 bowls to equal the calcium in total.
Late checkout this morning?
You need Total. It's got a 100% daily value of 12 vitamins and minerals. No other leading cereal comes close.
Pull a Total,
I'll take
please.
Total.
Kitchen's just closed.
Total Raisin Bran. 1 bowl, 100%.
Hi, I'm Corey, and this is where I work. I like working the drive-thru a lot. We all work as a team.
When people come through our drive-thru, they're in a hurry. They have other places to be. That's why we're fast and accurate.
Yes, we check every bag just to make sure everything's in there. And we check every bag.
To work here, you have to be a real people person.
You gotta make sure that you smile.
This is a very friendly place.
Maybe brighten their day a little bit.
And right now, you can get your choice of 2 Big Macs, 2 Quarter Pounders with cheese, or 2 supersized orders of fries for just $3. Mix or match any 2 items, just $3.
See you soon.
Okay, and here's Jeff Frizzell again, this time live with your 14-day AccuWeather forecast.
All right, thanks very much, Jennifer. As we take a look at the 14-day trend, you will notice temperatures start to swing up tomorrow up to 80, then the rest of the week, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, low to mid 80s, and overall over the next 2 weeks, it looks like a pretty normal pattern, with temperatures averaging low to mid 80s, which is about where we should be for late July and early August. Jennifer, back to you.
Good, Jeff. Thanks very much. Now it's your turn to sound off. The Nightly Sports Call with John Steigerwald starts right now.
Let your opinion be heard. The Nightly Sports Call on UPN 19.
Troy Polamalu only missed 1 day of practice. After taking the red-eye from L.A., he signed an $8 million deal with the Steelers, practiced with them today. Now he has to prove that he has what it takes to beat out Mike Logan and become a starter at strong safety.
You know, I really don't know what it takes, but I know that Mike Logan is a great football player, and I'm looking up to him. Both him and Brant have been helping me out a lot on the field, and you know, I'm gonna try to take in as much knowledge as they have and squeeze